Hi and welcome to Football Fakiri, home for all sorts of football content. And yes, we're back with another video. What an awesome weekend of football. From Bruno Fernandes to skying a penalty, James Trafford giving a ball away, Sipo Mbule sleeping on Mamelodi Sundowns, and Harry Kane scoring a hat-trick. Here's what happened in the weekend of football. So before we continue and jump into the video, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and do share this out to all your friends and family. It really helps the channel grow. We do interact with all the people who comment. So thank you so much if you have liked, subscribe, and comment on the previous videos. If not, we do appreciate you for just watching. However, please don't be shy. It takes nothing to subscribe or the like button. Kick off the weekend with Chelsea facing West Ham at the London Stadium on Friday evening. Javier Paqueta scoring in the opening 5 minutes to give West Ham the lead 1-0. But then after that was all Chelsea. Um, West Ham had a chance to West Ham made it 2-1, but the goal was disallowed due to Totibo being offside. But Chelsea look fluent. I feel West Ham was just underwhelming, silly mistakes. They When they do win the ball back, they don't know what to do with the ball. Good performance from Estevao, João Pedro. You know, Chelsea looking like a formidable side, and this is all with Cole Palmer falling injured in the warm up and not playing. So Chelsea picking up their first win of the season in the London derby, and then moving on to Saturday. I said this about early kickoffs. Man City struggling in early kickoffs, and again they lost to Tottenham Hotspur. It was a dull affair to be honest. The opening minutes was quite quiet. City got a chance with Mamouche, he missed, and then a goal from Brennan Johnson gave Tottenham the lead. Because they balled up on the back ball to Pedro Porro, he played it over the top. A flicker from Pape Sarr, and then Richarlison was through on goal. Johnstone slipping gave Richarlison even some bigger advantage to get away from the defenders. He then squares the ball and Brennan Johnson taps it in. And then in added on time in the first half, City builds up again. James Trafford tries to play out from the back. His pass is not solid enough. And then Papi Sarr intercepts before can get to Nico Gonzalez. And Richarlison picks up the ball. Trafford gets a hand onto it. It spills to Paulinho, and then Paulinho puts it in the back of the net. And Spurs are 2-0 up, and then some cruise control. What I can say, this robotic football from City, it's becoming dull to watch now, especially against the bigger teams, because it seems like they cannot unlock the bigger teams. The teams who are more structured at the back. If that's the way they're going to continue, it's going to be a difficult season for them. Um, Bournemouth winning Wolves. I predicted Wolves to get relegated the second or so the season. Bournemouth doing good. A shock for me again this weekend. Brentford winning Aston Villa 1-0. Aston Villa, a shadow of themselves what they were last season, and a good win for Brentford. Burnley beating Sunderland 2-0. And then Arsenal beating Leeds 5-0. Gyökeres getting on the score sheet. He's scoring two. Julian Timber scoring two as well. And I mentioned, I think Arsenal will win 3-0. They went on and won 5-0. Um, Dangers from set pieces again. Um, Timber scoring from the corners. It's just yeah, Arsenal at home, they'll pick up their points against the weaker teams. Moving on to Sunday, Palace and Nottingham Forest drew 1-1. I predicted that on my TikTok channel. Everton beating Brighton 2-0. Didn't expect that. Good performance from Jack Grealish. Performing well. Two assists for him on his first start at the home debut for Everton, and he looked like a revelation for them down the left. Iliman Ndiaye on the right, James Garner and Idris Gueye with Drewsbury Hall in midfield. They look solid. Pickford save a penalty from Welbeck as well. Get them a clean sheet. And then moving on to obviously the last game of the Sunday, Fulham versus Manchester United. I've lost to say about this game as a Manchester United supporter. It was frustrating to watch. United got a penalty in the first half. Bruno missed it. Skied the ball over. But even the penalty that they received, to me, in my opinion, um, it's a 50-50. It's Calvin Bassey pulls Mason Mount down, but it's in a more aggressive manner. But both of them are holding one another. I don't feel that there was yes, Mason Mount wouldn't have won the header in any case. To put it like that. Then Man United goes on and score in the second half. Um, from a corner, and Buemo puts the ball in. Lenny Yoro gets a head onto it, and it goes off Muniz into the back of the net. But in the build up, before Lenny Yoro wins the header, he pushes Calvin Bassey. In my opinion, should have been a free kick to Fulham. Whatever holds a goal. And then Fulham goes and scores um, the 70 odd minute. Ball gets played to Dalot. He makes a mistake. Bruno doesn't track Smith Rowe. Iwobi puts in a cross. Smith Rowe taps it in 1-1. And that's it. Man United didn't create enough chances, in my opinion, and I'll say it again. If you go watch my thoughts on Manchester United a couple of videos ago, I mentioned these things. Goalkeeper is not number one. Is a problem. He doesn't come for crosses. Um, Bayende is not reliable. You can't trust him. We are on the back foot every time. Um, Fulham gets a corner. We are worried. Secondly, Bruno Fernandes cannot play in midfield. We're struggling there. Um, he takes off Casemiro. Amram takes off Casemiro. He brings on Cisco. He moves Mason Mount to play next to Bruno Fernandes in midfield. Already, we don't have two players who can win the ball back for us. Obviously, it's going to be a struggle. Um, and playing Amad Diallo as a right wing back. So here's what I'm going to have to say about this. If Amorim wants his best players on the field, regardless, you can see that he wants his best 11 players, technically good, on the pitch. He will make a way to find them in the starting 11. Here's what I'm going to say. Bruno, Ahmad, Cunha, and Buemo fight for the front, for the two attacking midfielders, put Mason Mount in there, fight it out. Whoever's going to play there, you have to fight for your position. And then Cunha, and Buemo, and Sesko, and Hoyland, Xerxes can fight for the striking position. Another problem that I have with Ruben Amorim is premeditated substitutions. Um, he made 5 changes yesterday, brought on 3 defenders. Where's the intent to go and win the match? You have Xerxes on the bench, you have Main on the bench. Where's your intent when it was 1-1? Let's try and put pressure on Fulham. Are you okay with taking the point? Okay, we a point away from home. It's good enough. Let's move on because we want to have the best of games. I have so much to say about this, but I don't want to make it a Manchester United end video. So I'll leave it at that. But I'm on that. I'm on an out train. It's either Ruben Amorim will go first or Graham Potter. One of the two will be will be fired soon. And then moving on to tonight, another nice clash. Newcastle versus Liverpool. I think the winner gets Alexander Isak. But yeah, Newcastle without Isak up front, it's going to be difficult. But also Liverpool are playing without Frimpong at right back. He's picked up an injury. So that will see either Joe Gomez coming at right back or Conor Bradley. And then I feel that Harvey Barnes might have a good day on the left. If they don't shift, in my opinion, I'll move Anthony Gordon to the left. Play Joe Linton as a number 9. He was a striker initially. Let him bully Van Dijk and Konate up front. Um, and then he can play Harvey Barnes as a 10 maybe. Or play Jacob Murphy as a 10. But yeah, that's the Premier League. Good fixtures I mentioned. There will be goals across all football this weekend. And you can see in the Premier League, there were goals scored in each game. Um, each game had more than 2 or more goals besides Brentford and the Bournemouth game. Which I feel Bournemouth, once they test straps and once they start finding their feet, they will do better. But obviously, the defense is what is worrying me. But Wolves will be relegated, in my opinion. And as I predicted, the final of the MTN 8 will be between Orlando Pirates and Stellenbosch FC. I said this in the preview. I said this on TikTok when I made a video as well. I said Orlando Pirates will go through on penalties. Um, Mamelodi Sundowns scored early in the first, not early in the first, but they scored in the first half through Ikaram Reyners. And then they dominated the match for about up until the 60th, 70th minute. Then Pirates came into the game. And in the free kick goal, um, good build up. King on the ball. He plays Ozzy who puts the ball in first time in the air. He's there for Mabasa, but I don't know if his intention was to hit it goalwards or if his intention was to hit it backwards to Sepile Bile, who was coming on. And then he hits his Sepile Bile in the back of the net, and 1-1 with 10 minutes left. Um, I look at Pirates and I said it on TikTok that I would have felt if they started with Sipon Bule, they might have had more control of the match. Um, Playing Sheethlin Dooley, Terrence Mbata, Tito Masangwani, and then attacking of Tito earlier in the first half, bringing on Pandile Shandu, putting him at right back, moving Sebele Pele to right wing. I feel Pirates' threat is the what they can provide you with Apollos and Mofokeng drifting inwards. It always creates space for players like Sebele Pele and Dion Otto when they're playing, when Sebele Pele plays at right back, even when Dostino van Rooyen and Otto on the other side, they give you that width. Um, and when they started with Tito, I just felt that now you're missing that control in midfield, because you already have Ozone Paulus and King coming inside, and now you have Tito also there. Where we had Sipo and Pule could maybe just play a bit more deeper, so then you're having, instead of having two holding midfielders and attacking midfielder, you can have two holding midfielders and maybe a central midfielder number eight. So you play two sixes and an eight. It gives you more control. You can then you have your shape that you have um is more narrow, to put it like that. Because now, if you do win the ball in the midfield, you have players close by that you can play the ball to. You know what Sipo Mbule, who loves getting on the ball, that would have worked. Um, so the first half didn't work for Salam Wadu. I can finally now say his name, and that's what the people are saying. The commentators are saying. But yeah, goes to penalties. Sipo Chaine then does his thing. Plays obviously on Ronald Williams because everyone's expecting him to save penalties. And then Sipo Chaine saves the first two penalties of Sundowns. And Pirates then goes on and win 4-1 on penalties, 2-2 on aggregate. And then moving on to the second match, I said Stellenbosch will qualify. 1-1 draw with Sekakune, and they win 3-1 on aggregate. Um, yeah, I mean, Stellenbosch scoring first, it was always in a mountain to climb for Sekakune. Because that time means Sekakune had to score um, 4 goals in order to qualify because the away goal rule still counts. One thing that I was surprised is that there's no extra time after the in the Pirates game. There was no extra time and then straight to penalties. But yeah, that is the final. Repeat of last year. However, I do feel this time Stellenbosch will go on and win the cup. I think it's deserving for them. After what happened last season in the internet, I feel no the wheels turn, and this time Stellenbosch will come out victor. And then other football fixtures around the world, Bayern Munich beating RB Leipzig 6-0. A hat trick from Harry Kane there, and Luis Diaz scoring his first goal in the Bundesliga for Bayern Munich. Um, PSG wins Angers 1-0. Dembele missing a penalty, and then Fabian Ruiz um, scoring the only goal in the match there. And then the Serie A on Saturday, Cremonese beating AC Milan 2-0. What a shocking result that was. And then Barcelona beating Levante 3-2 and Real Madrid also winning. So it was a good weekend of football. I mentioned goals all around the world, and that's what happened. Thanks for watching the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And thank you for all the support. Appreciate it. Until next time. Cheers.